I'm always confused as to whether this is Dylan McDermott or Dermot Mulrooney, because Hollywood always makes two of everything.
You have this monkey suit, sit by the fire, watch Breaking Bad.
This will be very confusing when this guy starts watching the final season and he sees General Edward Clegg helping Walter White disappear, and not to mention one of Jack's white supremacist gang showing up out of nowhere to help with the White House attack. Louis thinks that if it puts a cap and glasses on the kid, I'm not going to notice that it's the same exact kid when 18 months pass.
John Cale, born 1980.
No, he was minted in 1980, remember?
I'm a coin in the United States Army. I was minted in the year 1980.
In this shot, the president is on Marine One at night, but in the next shot, he's in some sort of Korean bomber plane about to attack the White House during the day. And I don't know why Clint Eastwood made a cameo in this, but there he is. Morgan Freeman was clearly the president in a previous shot, but now he's the Speaker of the House? When did he get a demotion? Is it because he was focused on the comets headed towards Earth instead of the immediate threat to the White House? Oh, I see. This makes perfect sense now. Jason Clarke is in this movie, which completely explains why we saw Thade instead of Abraham Lincoln at the Lincoln Memorial earlier. But why is he a bad guy now?
Where's the Peacock?
Considering when Mike asked you the question earlier.
How many feet from the Oval Office to the Peacock elevator?
116.
And you answered it perfectly. Why do you need to know where it is all of a sudden? White House Armory somehow restocks itself after the bad guys clearly took all the guns earlier. Really? There are still more guys they had to kill after that airplane went around and shot everyone up?
RPG!
Why did you even bother getting maintenance guys to infiltrate the White House when you were just going to blow the front door down anyway? Good God, this plan is stupid.
I'm sure she's fine. We're in the safest house in the world.
These are surely words that will come back to haunt you on a news program 3.5 minutes later.
White House, the most protected building on Earth, has fallen.
See? People need to stop jinxing shit.
Not since the British burned down the White House in the War of 1812 has an enemy force occupied the center of American power.
Boy, it sure was nice of the movie to go through that whole exposition on the War of 1812 so that this news reporter's line could pay off.
White House burned down?
Yeah, the War of 1812. Glasses.
Wait a damn minute. I thought that one of the president's security guys had to do some sort of fingerprint match to get into the Peacock. But now the president has to do some sort of retinal scan in a library followed by a voice match to get there? Good God, I'm confused. Look, if you want to have this depressing shot of the American flag flying off the White House, fine. But don't tell me the White House is still intact after the aliens attack. So many things are going on right now, it's impossible to figure out. We have Koreans shooting up the White House, the president is in his limo with Channing Tatum, Gerard Butler's looking confused. I mean, to quote a favorite reporter of mine,
We don't know what is happening exactly.
Yo, you don't talk to me like that in front of my men.
No, you don't! What? 10 years I've known Bobby twice! The guy saved my life.
John McClane writes down names that the bad guys don't even mention. He must be able to hear things on top of the elevator that we can't hear inside the elevator.
You are the acting president of the United States.
God, I wish they'd make up their mind about whether this guy is president or not.
Just kill the Secretary of Defense.
Yet later, they'll waste all sorts of time trying to kill the new Secretary of Defense because it's convenient for the plot. I really can't believe after Benjamin Gates failed at his earlier attempt to get into the president's desk, he hired a bunch of North Koreans to assault the White House just to get his hands on the next clue. But no doubt he'll get away with it because treasure. All this movie is, really, is a series of people climbing up things. Later on, John will have this kid climbing up an air duct while he takes out one of the henchmen down below. They should have called this movie Climbing Up Dangerous Shit. I don't even know why they need this dickhead. They already have this woman doing all the computer stuff, and meanwhile the movie has completely forgotten about Theo. This team of terrorists has more hackers than the movie Hackers.
Well, then we're going to have to start talking about invoking the 25th Amendment.
You want to remove the president from power, sir?
I can see why she'd be upset about that, since her boyfriend, Harvey Dent, is the current president. But her best friend's confidant, Lucius Fox, is the acting president. And this movie can't decide which president it wants.
My name is Martin James Walker, Chief of the Presidential Detail of the United States Secret Service.
That's so odd to me. I thought Angela Bassett was the one running the Secret Service. In fact, didn't I hear her basically telling James Woods what's what just a second ago?
The fact that it recorded static isn't what interests me. What interests me is that it recorded approximately 18 hours of it.
That is interesting, isn't it?
What about my dad?
Dad's gonna be fine. Okay? Nothing bad's gonna happen. We're gonna get him out of here.
This fucker just won't listen to directions, will he? Remember what the president said to him earlier?
Stop lying to children.
What a dick this guy is.
무기 다 됐습니다.
Of course they are. Everyone saw that earlier. You were there. And it's their infiltration of Washington that has us in this mess right now. When did they decide to take the presidency from Morgan Freeman again? This guy does a lot of screwing up off screen that we never see. Not learning from any of their mistakes, the president once again calls for an aerial attack on the White House after the previous one went so badly.
We've got movements at the Federal Reserve.
But you're in Washington, D.C., and McClane just saw bad guys taking money from the Federal Reserve in New York City.
There's gold in the Federal Reserve, and they took a shitload of it.
So where the hell is this happening right now?
The former Vice President Alvin Hammond is clearly calling the shots.
You right in the ear. It is clearly not clear. I don't know how this government is running, with the former vice president calling the shots and the former Speaker of the House calling the shots. Capitol building is intact in this shot, when it got blown up earlier in the movie.
Not by air, they have to come by ground.
I think we can handle this.
Really,
because they have Javelin missiles.
I wish they'd make up their mind what these top secret weapons actually are. Here they call it the Hydra 6.
You gotta abort this mission. They got the Hydra 6.
And now they're calling them Javelin missiles. Look, if you want to have the American flag fall off the White House again, don't tell me it happened earlier and someone stuck another flag up there. I'm still angry that the whole White House was blown up and then there was still some White House left for the helicopter to do even more damage. And yet in this shot, the White House just keeps building itself back up, like there are secret contractors doing work during a terrorist attack. Look, either the helicopter blew up when it crashed into the White House, or it stayed intact enough for helicopter blades to come through the ceiling. It can't be f***ing both, so make a goddamn decision. These countdown clocks are way out of sync with each other, and I don't know which one to believe anymore.
We're going to need to swear you in, sir.
What happened to Morgan Freeman?
Though it is not confirmed yet, President Asher is believed to have been among those killed when the Black Hawk helicopter went down in flames on the White House North Lawn.
The news media continues to report the president dead, without a body, even after he survived this explosion in this crash and wasn't dead earlier. These fictional news outlets are probably worse than the real news outlets.
Martin Walker now has the ability to launch missiles at any target in the continental United States.
No, he doesn't. The hacker chick still needs the President Missile Launch Code to do that. You ever think this movie might have been two different scripts at one point, and they filmed both of them and made it into one movie?
Our satellites show massive troop movements in Russia, Pakistan, and the Arabian Peninsula.
I thought we were worried about North Korea.
I read your Bible, Mr. President. It says, the wages of sin is death.
Then why hasn't this movie died already?
What is that?
Oh, what are you doing?
This is the nuclear football.
Is that what they've been playing this whole time? No wonder Jamie Foxx throws up every time he goes out to play. And this dickhead is a team doctor, for Christ's sake. In fact, it's probably extremely nuclear football. If you have two presidents on the same team, one's a quarterback and the other is the offensive coordinator.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know what he's doing. I didn't call that play.
Sending those men in was the most courageous thing you ever did in your life. You were a true commander-in-chief. For 5 minutes.
Look, I know all white guys are racist, but the person who was president for 5 minutes in this movie was Morgan Freeman, not Jamie Foxx.
Sir, we have nuclear missiles spinning up on the Albuquerque.
First you say the missiles are in the silos on U.S. soil. Now you're saying the missiles are on submarines too? Man, I don't know whether to be afraid for the U.S. or the entire world. Look, little girl, if the pilots aren't going to pay any attention to John McClane's waving fire around, they sure as f*** aren't going to care about some dumb flag waving. How many times is this guy going to survive getting shot? Earlier, he survives this close-range gunshot to the gut. Now he survives getting shot in basically the same spot because he just happens to have Lincoln's stopwatch to stop the bullet.
When did you and Walker cook this whole thing up?
Look, John, either your dad is a mild-mannered coin collector with anxiety issues, or he's a devious mastermind trying to rule the world. You can't be both.
You're a goddamn traitor, sir.
This is in such stark contrast to the scene earlier when John basically poured his heart out to his dad in this scene. I don't know how you changed so quickly from that to this. Maybe his miraculous recovery turned him into an asshole. Then, for whatever reason, Jamie Foxx totally sets up Mike so that he'll blow himself up right after he saved his ass. I'll give this movie this. I was not expecting that twist. But murdering president is murderer. I have no idea how they plan to get Washington and the White House rebuilt after this. But the place looks amazingly dry after a huge flood went through it.
He's just opened the gates of hell.
Gracie! Press it!
Hello, America. It is my unhappy duty to report to you that the Messiah has failed. This computer-enhanced radar image from Houston shows how the detonation succeeded, however, did not destroy the comet.
Cerberus has been deactivated.
NORAD confirms. Cerberus has been shut down.
Good.
Mr. Forbes.
I read the article in Forbes.
On your side, you assholes!
Fire! Hold your fire! I think that man is a friendly! Well, whoever they are, they're f***ing good. They're well-trained and they're well-organized.
They're well-financed and very slick.
How's your wife, Michael?
Leah. She's a nurse.
Saves lives.
Too bad she will not save yours.
Touching, cowboy, touching. Or should I call you Mr. McLean? Mr. Officer John McLean of the New York Police Department.
Hello?
Hey, just checking in.
Al?
Mike?
You alright? How's Sam?
You know, I've been calling you everywhere. Are you okay?
Hey, you okay?
Are you okay?
Hey, you okay?
I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, it's been busy. It's good, you know. How about you?
I've had to stay a little later than I expected.
The military has a plan to deal with these things. I'm gonna get you both, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna be at the hospital by sunrise. Then I'm gonna get you and Sam out.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you.
Just want you to know that I love you.
I love you, Chad.
We have no